thank you for agreeing to come on. Honestly, every single time somebody agrees to come on or asks or whatnot, it's always really cool. I'm always really excited about it. And especially with you, obviously you've run so well at such a young age. You've already, kind of stirred some attention towards you and how you are and whatnot. And it's just really cool to be able to kind of pick your brain today. And I'm sure like everybody else is just curious of you and curious kind of a little bit of your backstory. And so that's kind of something I like to do. Like just first off is just like get to know you a little bit more. So like, what are some hobbies outside of the sport that you kind of gravitate towards?
Um, I really like doing a lot of active stuff. I like biking and rollerblading, and I like going to my grandparents have a lake house, and I really like going there and water skiing. And I like just like playing games with friends and family.
That seems to be kind of a going thing as far as like it seems like all cross country runners or like track runners are like active outside of the sport in some way. Rollerblading's the first. I haven't heard that one. I've heard quite a bit of ranges between like actors, musicians, and kind of everything between. But rollerblading's kind of new. Um, how long have you been doing that for? Do you like rollerblading is it's just like the line of wheels, right? It's not like the two and two. Okay, yeah. How long have you been doing that for?
I don't know, probably I just do it for fun mainly, and like probably like I don't know, 3 maybe 3 years. I don't know.
Oh, no, no, that's cool, cool. No, like I said, it's definitely like it's different because most people will be like, yeah, ride the bike or something, or I mean, I guess scooters not really that big in nowadays either. But yeah, rollerblading's so cool, man. That's so cool that you kind of continue it on. How'd you get started in running?
Uh, I really liked it when I was younger. Like I did the track, like a running club at my school, my elementary school. And then I always ran like every week on Sundays with my family. We always like did weekly runs, and I always really liked that. And then when I got to like seventh grade, I knew my mom had done like cross country and track when she was in high school, so she like convinced me and my sister to try it out, and I just loved like being part of a team, and I just fell in love with it.
Yeah, no, that's always so cool to hear. Like it always seems to be like somebody kind of like gets you into the sport, and then you kind of find your own way, your own path, kind of through it. Uh, and that's kind of like my family now. My wife, she ran not in like high school or anything, but like kind of later on in life, and now like our kids are kind of the same way too, and now they run, and it's kind of become like a family thing. But it's cool like to kind of see that through generations and whatnot.
Yeah.
I want to talk about cross country last season first off. Interesting. I think not just for you as an individual, but like as a team wise too. There's almost like, do you feel like there's an expectation to perform really well? Because it really is you guys, and obviously, Fort Mill and Chapin. But do you feel like an expectation of competing at a high level every year?
Not really. I feel like we all just have fun and just try our best each time. And like if you don't have the best race, it's fine because it doesn't define who you are, and just it's fine. Just do your best every time, and the outcome is the outcome.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting because, and I was talking to somebody the other day about it, and it's like sometimes we're all just like focused on the time of like trying to run a fast time, and we don't just enjoy the race itself, and like because racing itself it's fun. I mean, even the bad times, it's kind of like you can kind of laugh about it afterwards and be like that was brutal, um, but it's funny and times always come, especially if you're competing at a high level. I want to talk about your PR 1827. From or from 2023 to 2024, um, you know, I would say like I'd say like 1820, 1830 range, you start kind of going to another level of just like competitive high school running. Did you notice anything different from 2023 to 2024 where there was like the runs maybe were easier or like workouts were getting faster?
Um, I feel like definitely my easy runs got faster, and also the senior in my team who I like we really trained together a lot, and we really pushed each other and like help each other out, and like every single race we were just trying to stick with each other and push each other, and like I would leave 1 mile, she would lead the next, and just I think that really helped having someone to like push me.
Yeah, and so when you run a PR, like I said, 18:27, during that race, do you notice something different at all? Or like you kind of just laser focused in and you crossed the line and it was like, whoa, I just got a PR? Like, walk me through that race. Was it any type of different?
I feel like definitely at like mile one, I knew I felt pretty good, and I was right next to the Grace, who was a senior, and we were just like it was also like cold, so I feel like you didn't feel the pain as much, so that definitely helped. And then I feel like just like at the end of that course, there was like a track, and when I got on the track, I could see the time, and that was when I really like knew that I was gonna get a PR and just like push as hard as I could.
Yeah, it's funny because like, especially in that, like anytime I've ever done like a track race or at all, anything. Granted, cross country you end on a track sometimes. Um, but yeah, you kind of like know, like, holy crap, I'm gonna PR. As long as I don't like die or anything, like completely die or like roll my ankle, like you're gonna PR. It's always like an interesting feeling. And it's funny you mentioned like too, like because some people struggle in the cold, like just blatantly cannot run in the cold. So,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I love it. I oh my god, the cold. Well, maybe I wouldn't say the colder the better, but I would take cold over hot, kind of any day of the week. Um, Crowd noise. Like you hear your coaches at all, or like parents at all, like ever, whether it be in track or cross country. Do you hear them like cheer you on?
Yeah, I definitely hear people. Hear some people like more than others. Like, my grandpa and my uncle have very loud voices, so it's really easy to hear them. And then also I can hear like my teammates and my coach. Like, that definitely helps in the middle of a race. But in track, I hear people like not quite as much because there's so many people just everywhere. But I can still hear my coaches definitely then. But I don't hear like any music at all. Like I just tone that out. I don't know why.
No, it is funny because again, I was talking to somebody and we were talking about that, and it's like I can't remember anything. Like track is so different than cross country, and you would think you would hear more in a way because everybody is kind of so like there, and in a way you do. But I feel like you're so focused on just making that left turn like all the time, and like it's just so much more intense. Granted, it's quicker, um, and you don't necessarily have like the one random person at mile like 2.43 cheering your name.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, crowd noise is always like a really interesting thing. Uh, State finish fourth individually, third as a team. Obviously, really close battle with Chapin there, really close. Going into that race, what were you kind of expecting? I mean, I know rankings kind of like they're not everything, but they definitely there's some like writing on the wall sometimes of like, okay, this person has run this time. It's gonna take a really good performance and maybe a little luck to get them. But like going into that race, did you have expectations of like was it like top five or did you think you had a chance at the win at all or kind of how was that?
Uh, so like 2 weeks before that, I realized I figured I had low iron. So I was trying to, that definitely made it like different mentality. And then I was trying to just like, I was trying to like start out slow and like see how I felt. And then just like, I was trying to pass a lot of Chapin and Fort Mill girls, like just pass as many as I could so we were trying to beat them both as a team, obviously. But then I felt pretty good at like mile, I don't know, like two or something. So I just like kept on just like passing people. And then I saw my teammate ahead, and that definitely like pushed me to go faster. And that helped. I was trying to just like, I feel like top five is definitely my goal for that race.
Yeah, and then like as a team at all, do you guys talk about or like even prior to, did you talk about a finish of like what was the goal? I mean, Fort Mill seems a little out there, like to kind of catch them, because they are so deep. But I mean, hey, you never know. But was there talk of just like a second or like no, we're going for the win, like we're gonna try and pull an upset here?
Our main goal was to beat Chapin, like, but we also had like one of our girls was like sick, so we had to pull in our like eighth runner. And then also like not all of us had the best day at state, but like our goal was to beat Chapin, but we were definitely happy with third.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because like there's there's teams that that would kill just to even get like top 10, and so you do kind of take a step back and you see like, yeah, you know what, third in the state is still third. Like it's great, it's a great finish and whatnot. But it's always it's so to be that close to like with another team too is really like, and to be like up there. It's not like you guys are battling for seventh place. You guys are battling for runner up. It definitely makes it really almost intense. Like kudos to you guys, obviously, in pulling the eighth and to step up and whatnot. You talk about obviously Newberry is I don't know. It seems like nobody likes Newberry. Do you like Newberry as as the state course or even as a course in general?
It's fine. I like how it has hills because like living in Greenville, there's so many hills, so I feel like our team's so strong with them. So I feel like against like teams that come from the beach, we just have like a leg up. And also I've had some pretty good races there, but I just feel like sometimes it's annoying because even if you have a really good race there, since it has so many hills, you're not gonna get a good time. It's just go off people, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much the general rule of thumb there at Newberry. Is just the time is like if you PR at Newberry, I mean, my goodness, go to like I don't know, McAlpine or like Eye Opener or something. You probably really crush it there. Um, do you have a favorite course at all, or like whether it be in state or out of state, or
I really like the Greer course because I like how it has so many loops and like you kind of get to like remember like where you were. And I also like the Fort Jackson one because like a lot of it's downhill and that definitely makes a fast time.
yeah, Jackson. It's funny because so my son, he'll be a freshman this year, and we've never been out to the state qual course. And I was like, like let's go check it out, like see how the hill is, because I thought the hill was going to be like really tough, in my opinion. And it didn't seem that bad. It didn't seem as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like it is kind of long because it goes all the way to the road, but um, it wasn't as bad. Is that what you thought too, or like was that hill kind of still a pain in the butt?
It was not that bad. Like we were really expecting like a really long, like tough hill that we were all gonna like really hurt on. But then once you got to it, it wasn't that bad. Then right after the downhill, so you can just like really use that.
Yeah, that was my thinking too. I'm like, we because we did like some just like minor like hill kind of repeats and whatnot. I was like, man, like if you can just kind of power through this thing, like you're smooth sailing the rest of the way down the hill. I mean, I know you got to tackle it twice, right? You have to go up it twice, yeah. So, but then the start is so flat too around the field. Like, yeah, that course is something. No wonder why people kind of PR'd it a lot. Um, looking at like overall the season for cross country, how do you think it kind of played out? Was it kind of everything you wanted to accomplish, or was there still like some more goals kind of on the table?
I was pretty happy with it. I had I had a goal of like sub 1840, I think, so I definitely did that, which was really fun. And then I had like an unexpected, like obviously the low iron, and also I twisted my ankle in like county course, so that was like a setback. But I feel like other than those, I definitely had a good season. I was proud of it.
Yeah, and was there any thought of doing like a postseason meet, like NXR or Foot Locker, or even like Running Lane, or was the low iron thing kind of just the staple in it to like you were just gonna stop for the season?
Uh, Not really, cause I did Nike Internationals, so I wanted to like get done and get started training with that.
Yeah, no, that's something that's really interesting too. I'm from Florida, so indoor season is like non-existent over there. Um, and then even obviously South Carolina is non-existent. Um, North Carolina a little bit here and there. I mean they actually have a season, I think. Indoors, like how was that? Like especially Nike indoor nats, like obviously ran the 520. Yeah, how was that experience?
It was really cool. I wasn't really trying to have like a good time. Like obviously would be happy with a good time, but I was just trying to have fun. It was so much fun. It was like a great experience. Like we saw so many like fast people. Like we were just biking around the the park in New York, and we just saw Jane Heddergan just running, and it was so cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I would be a fanboy and be like, "Oh my gosh!" Like that's pretty cool. From cross country, right? So you run states. How much of a break did you take, or did you take any, or
Yeah, I did 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
And did you feel like, because obviously, like cross country and like especially indoor, it's just like way different of like running because it's I mean 200-meter track. It's not even a 400-meter track. You're just like busting out laps. Um, was that your first indoor season, or have you ran indoor before?
Yeah, that was my first one ever.
How was that? Was it a bank? Where was it? Was it at the Armory or where was that?
Yeah, I was Armory, but
Armory?
I did one other one, like just because I'd never been on an indoor track before, and that one was some random place in North Carolina, but it was definitely different because it was not banked, so it was like
Uh,
different.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Because they kind of have a big one, and then I think in Virginia there's another indoor facility, and that one's banked. How is it running on a bank track? I've never done it, so I'm really jealous of you already. But is it weird, or like, do you feel like you're like leaning over a bit? Like, how is that?
It's good. I feel like when you don't run fast, it feels weird because you're like really leaning over. But like in the middle of a race, you don't notice it because you're going like so fast and you're focusing on other things.
Yeah, that's definitely pretty cool. So yeah, that brings us obviously to track. Indoor and outdoor. 518 outdoor and then 1125 for the 32. Um, do you feel stronger in one event versus the other, or you know, because I mean, honestly, looking at it, it seems like you like the mile more, or the 16, but I could be completely wrong. You tell me.
I like the mile more, but like I did it like so much, but I kind of wish I did like a few more 3200s because like I only did it like 3 times and they were all like my third race. So like my time I feel like could have been definitely improved on if I did it like 3 times when it was my only race. But like the mile more.
Yeah, is there a reason why, or you just feel more comfortable, or it's just easier?
Uh, I feel like it's so short, like it goes by, like it feels so short.
Have you? Would you? Do you think you're like quick enough to do the 8, or is that too short?
I don't like the 800.
It's too fast.
Yeah, I feel like it's really fast. And also, I know I'd like doing it in a 4x because it's like a team and like you're helping your team. That's really fun. But I feel like I'm just not fast. Like I'm just better at like long distances compared to faster races.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. I did. I split like a 205 in the 4x8, and like that was the end of it. I'm like, I cannot do this. It is way too fast for me. I'll let all those guys who are running sub 2 take over on the guy side. Um, so yeah, I guess I mean I would say like choosing an event. Obviously, you gravitate more just towards the 16, but you're open to the 32. But you did double at states. Um, was it always were you always gonna double, or was that something that just kind of like came towards the end of the season? Like you have a shot to perform well in both, might as well, or how was that made?
I actually tripled because I did the 4x8 too.
No, four right, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like at like regions when I really like figured out that I was gonna do the like all three and I decided because I don't know why, but my coach just told like asked me which ones do you want to do and I was like it'd be really fun to do all three, so I just did it.
Hey, honestly, that's mad respect because there's not many out there that even attempt a double, let alone a triple. Usually you're kind of just putting all your kind of eggs in one basket and giving it a go. But um, performed really well in both. Seventh in the 16, eighth in the 32. Let's just talk about the 16 real quick first. For that race, like heading into it, obviously um, you had times, you had good, PRs up to that point. Was there a game plan going into that, or because like for a state meet, sometimes it could go two ways. It could go fast, or it could go slow and tactical. Were you ready for kind of both, or what would have you preferred?
Uh, I kind of wish it was like really just fast, because then I think it's easier to race just fast one. But my main goal was just to get like to just a podium, get top eight, and I was trying to stick to the front of the pack. We raced so weirdly because the first like the first three laps we went like so slow, and the last one was just like an all-out sprint, and it was definitely not prepared for that, but I it just ended up like that.
Yeah, that is kind of one of the um, kind of the tricky things of like a slow and tactical race is like, especially for like somebody going in kind of ranked number one. Um, I don't know if I would do it because it's like you almost give the the believers a chance in a way because like you never know if somebody could kick and just have the day and maybe you can't kick. I almost would want to string it out and have a fast race and everybody just kind of go for it. But then we go to the 32 was like the same kind of game plan. Like what was your game plan for that? Just again kind of see what everybody feels like doing or what did you
Yeah,
want?
that one I also wanted to do just podium, and I was trying to stick with like the top people, cause but then like in the middle of the race, my legs were just like dead from the other two events. So then I was just trying to just hang on, as just do as best as I could. And then I got lucky, and some East Side girl like forgot that she had another lap to go. She stepped off, and that's how I got eighth.
Oh my gosh. How is that possible?
I don't know.
That's fun. That's funny. She stepped off. Was she DQ'd or she just like
She
stopped?
sprinted. Like she sprinted in, she had like nothing left because she sprinted so hard.
Oh my gosh. That is wow. That's kind of funny. I've never I've never seen that one before. Especially the state meet too, because there's like they really have like the lap counters out there and you're kind of following everyone, but that's wow, that's interesting. Um Postseason you ran at running lane. 5:24 for the full mile. How again, I'm always so curious because I've never been to running lane either. But like it's been on the rise. Like so many people are going out there. They have like the whole like you can have people on the track and they got the lights and everything and it's definitely becoming like more energetic and definitely more spectator friendly. But how was that? I mean, that's quite the trip to Alabama for that.
Yeah, it was so cool. There's just like so many fast people. It's just insane how many people go there. And just like it's so hyped because there's like fireworks and like the music's so loud. Just a great atmosphere.
Did you drive there or did you fly there? You drove?
Yeah, we drove.
You drove? I'm telling you, I was looking at that for like obviously this next season coming up to go out there and whatnot for just my kids to run. And I'm like, I looked at it and it was like 6 hours, 6 or 7 hours from Columbia, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's a long trip, man. And we've had a couple student athletes on the show who said they made the trip out there. I'm just like, that's some dedication for sure. Um, Talking about now cross country 25 coming up here, and obviously you're sitting at a really good spot. You had a really good track season. Um, I can assume some times in mind. Um, but again, that's only me assuming. So what are some of like the goals for this upcoming season?
I feel like 18 like sub 18:10 would be really good. And then I feel like it'd be really cool to get sub 18, but that would be like pretty hard, but like a stretch, but that'd be really cool. And I feel like as a team we just want to get stronger and like faster. We have so many like ninth graders there, and it'd be like it's gonna be like really fun to see all them grow this season and over the next few years.
Yeah. I mean, if you're sub 1810, why not? Why not go for the whole thing there? So, you know, hey, 1759 is still sub 18, so I mean that's what I'd be going for. But yeah, I mean, you have a good track season, and obviously last year where you left off, hopefully continues to translate and get you there. Ranking wise, 12th individually for all of the classifications, second in 5A Division Two. Um, Obviously you're there. Like you got one girl ahead of you, and you know we know who she is. Um, but I mean, again, anything can happen. I think rankings they they tell the story, but they don't tell the ending. I mean, um, obviously, I'm assuming also that's kind of a goal too. Individually, is you got to go for the win, right?
Yeah, that'd be really cool if I did that.
Yeah, dude, let's pull the upset. Why not? You know, why not? So currently, right now, third as a team. Chapin does have you guys, but they also lost their number one runner. Um, so she moved away. So now it kind of gives you guys a little bit of breathing room because you guys are really close in the rankings just with her time in there. Um, so that's got to be a little bit of excitement. I mean, ranked second as a team, ranked second individually there. You know, I when you kind of look at that and whatnot, how's the summer training? Like, do you think the summer training is going well? Do you think like the team is going to be able to kind of put out those kind of results early on, or do you think you guys still have a bit of ways to go?
Well, it's going good. I feel like I'm feeling pretty strong, and I know all of them are, like they're all feeling strong and they're all like looking good. We're all like working pretty hard. I feel like we'll be racing good this season based off like just how everybody's looking, and we did, and yeah.
No, no, hey, that's good. Keep short, sweet, to the point. Don't let anybody know the secrets of what's going on over there. Um, Two more questions, real quick. One, do you know where you guys are opening the first race, or do you have the
Um,
schedule?
I don't know. I would think eye opener, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of teams are kind of opening up with eye opener. A couple have August 16th on the calendar as well. Eye opener is always kind of a crazy one. Do you like eye opener to kind of start the year? Because it is so big and kind of you know, what's the word, exciting, but almost a little bit of pressure to start off like right off the bat at a huge meet, like arguably one of the biggest meets in South Carolina.
Uh, I like it because it gives like really good competition like right away, but I also feel like it's like hard to race it because everybody goes out so fast, and like you're not used to cross country racing yet, so you don't know like quite how it's supposed to feel like yet. So you just have to like trust everything. But I feel like it's a really good course for it, which definitely helps, except for that last hill at the finish line.
Yeah, it definitely, having a good course definitely helps. Kind of helps that whole process. My last question, and this is something that like I wish I would have asked more. I could just kind of asking it, but especially for somebody like you who's been like running for quite some time, and um, especially at like kind of an earlier age, and you've had a lot of success at an early age, and you're still continuing that success. But do you have any like advice for, you know, sixth graders, seventh grader, eighth graders, like kind of just starting in the sport and, you know, don't really know exactly what is to come? Like any advice of all that?
Uh, I feel like so I went to this like running camp, and we like the main like focus to that was stay in your own lane. It's like just like worry about yourself, and like your like path is gonna be different than everybody else's, and you're gonna not get the same times as everybody, and something that's working for them may not work for you. Like just don't overtrain, and just like follow your own path and believe in yourself.
No, hey, well said. Especially putting you right on the spot too, like, you know, to give advice. What advice should I say? No, that was great. Um, and I think a lot of people appreciate that too. Because I mean, I always have a ton of questions of like, you know, how have you done it, and how has he done it, and you know, vice versa. But you know, like you said, like you kind of do carve out your own path, and because everybody's different, everybody's going to get to different goals in different ways. So, but hey, I appreciate you coming on. First off, again, super excited for you and to see what you can do this season. And I'm going to be holding you to it. You know, if we're at 18-10, we're going. we're going sub 18 this year, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna be looking at results every single week here, and hopefully uh, should be at a meet and record it, and hopefully it's that meet I'm there where you run 17:47 and it's on video. So thank you again for coming on. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.